Okay, so hello everyone. This is the video. This is the breakdown video for Bungie's patch stream. The stream is actually still going on right now as I'm recording this, but honestly, I've seen enough, and that's meant to be as both good and bad. Honestly, I don't know. Things are just. I've got some mixed things to say here. All right, so I mean, let's just hop right into it. I don't want this video to be too long. Shotguns were the first thing they showed off. Basically, the gist of it is they reduced the midair accuracy for shotguns, and they removed precision damage on shotguns. So that is supposed to help the consistency issues that shotguns were facing. But now, if you're in the air, you might have less consistency. So, like if you're jumping around with a shotgun, some of your pellets might miss and not hit their target, and you won't get that one-shot kill. But shotguns still have the range that they have now. And if you stay on the ground, if you're sliding into someone, it's still going to be the same stuff. So honestly, not much of a change to shotguns there, really. Nothing really done. Obviously, less movement. I mean, it's going to make it less consistent when you're jumping around, so that makes for a less aggressive game, which I'm not a huge fan of. I think that shotguns are supposed to be an aggressive tool, and I don't know why you would nerf their aggressive ability. I would have preferred to see just a flat range nerf, just a small flat range nerf, but that's not what we got. So yeah. Also, rangefinder reduces your aim down sight speed now. So if you have rangefinder on your shotgun, it's going to be a little bit of a nerf to how fast you can aim in. And also, hip firing with the shotgun has almost no aim assist or magnetism. So when you're not aiming down sights with a shotgun, it's going to be a little bit harder to hit your target. You're going to have to aim it a little better. And that's pretty much it for shotguns. The next weapon that comes to mind is pulse rifles, and they did things to only two archetypes of pulse rifles. The Clever Dragon archetype, which is dominant right now, Clever Dragon, Grass and Malik, the Waltz. They reduced the rate of fire by, I believe, 0.7%, I want to say. I could be off on that number, but I'm just going from my head, from what I remember. So basically, it's a 1 frame reduction, so almost nothing for those of you who have used the Clever Dragon. Like one more frame in between your bursts is not going to do that much. But the other thing they did is they reduced the effectiveness of high caliber rounds and the flinch on pulse rifles overall. So not as much flinch on pulses and not as much flinch from high caliber rounds. So other perks are going to be a better choice. They also made it so that brace frame on your Clever Dragon, Grass and Malik, whatever, it's going to reduce your magazine size even more than it already did. So if you have that brace frame Clever Dragon or brace frame Grasp, it's going to reduce your bullet count down to 18 bullets in the magazine on a Clever Dragon. I don't know what it is on Grass and Malik, but that's pretty significant, right? Like, it's a lot less ammunition, so you're going to have to be more careful. That doesn't do anything to me because I have a handled stock Clever Dragon, which means I have no magazine penalty, which means I can fire for days with maximum stability and be fine. So my Clever Dragon is pretty much still going to be crazy good. So I don't think they did that much to really affect the Clever Dragon. The other archetype of pulse that they changed is the lowest rate of fire. So that is the Messenger and the Parthian Shot pulse rifles. They didn't mention the Hake versions, so the Liudma D, those low rate of fire pulse rifles. They didn't mention those at all. But they did mention the Messenger and the Parthian Shot. They have increased the rate of fire on those pulse rifles, so they are a bit easier to use. So hopefully that means that we will see some higher rate of fire pulse rifles coming back into the meta. I am still a little bit upset that they did not buff Red Death, though. They didn't touch it at all. So Red Death, Nearwind's Mercy, any of those archetype of pulse rifles, they're still exactly the same, unfortunately. Only the highest rate of fire pulse rifles were touched. And I should also mention high caliber rounds, they fixed it on hand cannons, scout rifles, and auto rifles. Hand cannons and scout rifles, high caliber rounds actually used to reduce the amount of flinch that you got on the receiving end. So now that if you have those, if you have high cal rounds on hand cannon or an auto rifle or a pulse rifle, it will actually work as intended, increase the flinch a little bit more. Not really sure how I feel about that, especially with the buffs to certain auto rifles coming back into play, and hand cannons. So we'll see what happens. But you know, I'm glad they did fix it. But yeah, moving on. Auto rifles. All we know is that the lowest rate of fire auto rifles got a precision damage buff. So if you are hitting your headshots, your kill time is going to be a lot better. I personally don't think this is going to do very much. Honestly, I think that damage overall needs to be increased on auto rifles. And in my opinion, auto rifles are supposed to be like the least precise weapon in the game, right? You're not supposed to be really aiming for headshots with an auto rifle, right? That's more hand cannons, that's more scout rifles, that's more pulse rifles. An auto rifle is more of like a spray and pray type weapon, in my opinion. So I feel like the damage of body shots and headshots should be closer together, and that's what I mentioned in my balance video for auto rifles. A few months back, I mentioned that. But unfortunately, that's not what they did. They increased the headshot multiplier, so you have to be more precise in order to get a faster kill time with auto rifles. They also gave an in-air accuracy buff to all three archetypes of weapons: scout rifles, pulse rifles, and auto rifles. All will hit more bullets in the air. Not as much as hand cannons, obviously, but it's definitely noticeable. Like they showed it off a little bit, and you definitely, while jumping, will hit some bullets in the air. Unlike before, where auto rifles and pulse rifles and scout rifles is like hitting a bullet in the air was practically a miracle, right? So it's a lot better in the air now, so you can move around and shoot and stuff like that. Not much of a buff right there. I think that's going to be, it'll shake it up a little bit. It'll be interesting, and it'll make primaries a little bit better over shotguns, because shotguns have less in-air accuracy. So yeah, I think that'll be an interesting change, to say the least. But not much more than that. I don't think it'll really shift the meta that much. Hand cannons, they have, thank the Lord for this. Alright, this is the best change probably in the entire patch, or the entire stream. They changed the initial accuracy back to year 1. So you will have 100% accuracy from your first shot. The bloom will still be there after your first shot, but on your first shot, it will hit where you're aiming. They also reduced the base range by 5 meters, so that it's not sniping people, right? And they also reduced the minimum base damage at range by to 33%, not by 33%. It used to be 50%, now it's 33%. So if you're trying to snipe people across the map, you will still hit those people, but you will do a lot less damage at that range. So fantastic changes for hand cannons there. I love that a lot. Last word is going to be interesting. People can't tell if it's still going to be good or if it's going to be terrible still. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I do like these hand cannon changes, and I am really excited about them. Let's see, what is the next one? I don't think they did not change sniper rifles. I'm upset about that. Special ammo, this is a big one. Alright, you now lose special ammo when you die, but special ammo boxes spawn every 30 seconds, or not 30 seconds, every 60 seconds. Every minute there will be a special ammo box on the map. But you lose it when you die. So special ammo is a lot more common on the map, but when you die, you lose it all. So I actually suggested this change in my special ammo video. I wanted them to experiment with it and see how it goes. It's a lot more like Halo, right, where it's more like a power weapon where you can grab it and you have it, but once you die, you lose it and you have to go find ammo for it again, right? And I like this. I really, really do like this. I'm one of the few people who actually does like it. Special ammo is still going to be common. but you're gonna have to scavenge for it and choose when to go for it, right? Like you have to, focus on that a little bit more, grabbing that ammo in order to actually get, get special, right? Like you're gonna if you die, you're not gonna have special ammo. So very very good change in my opinion. I think it's gonna turn out a lot better than people think it will, and I'm excited to test it out. I think it'll be a lot more like Halo, like I said, power up in style gameplay, and I think that could potentially improve the Crucible. The one thing I will mention is that in Trials it is the exact same. So if you die in Trials, you lose all your special ammo. Not sure if I like that particular change, but we'll see how it plays out. And again, this is an indirect buff to sidearms, this is an indirect buff to Invective and Icebreaker, so those are going to be a lot more effective. But yeah, I'm giving this change the benefit of the doubt. I think this is a good change, and I think it could prove really well. And indirect buffs are really the story of this stream, right? Like high caliber rounds nerf is technically an indirect buff to sniper rifles, but we'll see how that shakes out. I still think sniper rifles aren't really that good in PvP. But like I said, we'll see. I haven't played it yet. These are interesting changes. Like I said, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how they play out. Subclass changes are very, very lackluster, and so I'm just going to run through them quickly. Landfall on Stormcaller now reduces the amount of time that you have Stormcaller, which does virtually nothing because everyone that knows what they're doing runs Ionic Blink on Stormcaller, so it's still the most powerful super in the game, 100% crazy powerful. So yeah, they did nothing to Stormcaller virtually. Stormcaller melee, they did reduce it. They did reduce it to be in line with other Warlock melees, and Amplitude still increases your range. So again, they technically reduced the range of Stormcaller melee and Amplitude, but honestly, I don't think they did that much to it, and I don't think it's gonna I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. Stormcaller is still gonna be very, very dominant in my personal opinion. Hunters, Arcblade, Hungering Blade, the healing perk now pretty much instantly regens your health and carries over a little bit into shields based on how much health you had left in Arcblade. So it doesn't like immediately start completely regenning your health and just like, making you completely full again, which is really the only reason that people used Arcblade in the first place. If you don't have health regen on Arcblade, you are fucked because Arcblade is horrible. So they literally nerfed Arcblade. I don't know. I feel like Arcblade's going to be a lot worse. I don't know. Like I said, the health changes are weird. I'm gonna have to wait for the patch notes to come out to actually explain it to you guys in full. But from what I've heard so far about how the health works when it's given back on a kill with Hungering Blade, it's not good. All right. I think this is definitely a nerf to Arcblade. It does give Arcblade a little bit more health, but not that much. So I think that Arcblade is definitely not going to be as good. They did not touch skip grenades. They did not touch sticky grenades. Pissed off about that. Real pissed. Juggernaut, though, they made it so that it cannot activate while you're in the air, while you're jumping, and it does not stay activated in the air for longer than, I believe, like a second. I don't know if that's going to be enough. I like the no activation in air. I love that, but it does stay activated if you activate it and then jump. It stays activated for like a second and a half or something like that. From what I saw, I don't know if that's going to be enough. We'll see. Like I said, I think they had the right idea, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. So that's pretty much the gist of the changes. There were some exotic changes they mentioned, but I'm going to wait for the patch notes to come out to really do an in-depth review on those. But for now, guys, this is my opinion. Special ammo change, great. Hand cannon changes, great. Auto rifle changes, I feel like they should have gone another direction. Pulse rifle changes, they're okay. They had the right idea, but again, Red Death archetype was not buffed in any way, and I still think Clever Dragon archetype will be dominant. We'll probably see Hawksaw and PDX come back a little bit more. Those will be more dominant pulse rifles. But high caliber rounds still flinches you a lot, in my opinion, and I think that it's still going to be very, very powerful. I still think snipers are not going to be that great, except for in trials. Shotguns, the midair accuracy thing, I don't know. I don't know about that, man. I would have really preferred just a flat range nerf. But we'll see how it shakes out. Like I said, I don't know. I don't want to judge that change too quickly. But yeah, we'll see. The in-air accuracy changes for pulse autos and scout rifles, interesting, but I don't know if it's going to really do that much. And the subclass changes are trash. Pretty much all trash. They virtually did nothing. Oh, they made throwing knives actually solar damage. Yeah, great. Woohoo! So now they actually do solar burn damage in strikes, but not in PvP. I don't know why they were nerfed in the first place. But like that was like their proud moment. Like they advertised that in the stream, like, oh guys, we made throwing knives actually do solar damage. Aren't you proud? I don't know, man. I'm really having mixed feelings. Like I said, hand cannon changes, fantastic. Special changes, I'm excited to see how it plays out. Literally everything else, I'm mixed feelings on. So yeah, I want to end off the video, guys. I don't want to make it too long. We're approaching 17 minutes here, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll probably make another video of the stream highlights, so I'll download the stream and I'll cut it up in what the parts that I thought were the most important, and I'll upload that. But this was just my overview video just after the stream, just to show you guys or tell you guys how I feel and the gist of the changes. So thank you guys so much for watching. Put your thoughts down in the comment section below. Please tell me what you think, and I'll see you guys in my next video.